You wake up one morning to find that the world has descended into chaos, so you rush to the grocery store to stock up on some foods, only to find all the stores have shut down. Walmart closed, Costco closed, Kroger closed. You drive around until you find a Target open, but when you go inside, it's chaos. Crowds of people fighting each other for the last can of beans. You wonder if it's a nightmare, but it isn't. Look, if you're an American and you're not stockpiling these foods, then you're going to end up as one of the hundreds, if not thousands of people fighting for the last can of beans. While watching this video, make a list of these foods and start stocking immediately. Because when disaster strikes, it happens when you least expect it. This first item is extremely important. You can have all the canned foods and survival gear in the world, but without water, your survival chances drastically drop. So many of us take it for granted until we're staring down a situation where the taps just stop running. I don't have to tell you how water is needed for cooking, hygiene, and staying healthy. In emergencies, water systems can get contaminated or shut down entirely, turning what's usually an afterthought into a vital commodity overnight. With proper water supply, you can maintain basic hygiene practices and have the means to prepare meals. So if there's one thing you take seriously from this video, let it be this: prioritize your water supply. You want to ensure that you and your loved ones can continue to live, not just survive, no matter what the world throws your way. Next on the list, salt. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill table seasoning we're talking about. Salt is a powerhouse of preservation that's been keeping food edible way before refrigerators. It's good at battling bacteria and keeping your meats and veggies in tip-top shape for way longer than you'd expect. And the best part, salt is like the rock star that never ages. It keeps its taste, it keeps its potency, and it doesn't care whether it's been on your shelf for a day or a decade. So when you're looking at that bag of salt, no, you're not just looking at something that makes your popcorn taste better. You're looking at centuries of culinary wisdom packed into tiny crystals that stand the test of time, ensuring your food stays safe, savory, and most importantly, edible. Next item on the list is sugar. It's that sweet staple we all know and love, and guess what? It's practically immortal. Whether we're chatting about white sugar, brown sugar, or the ever-useful powdered sugar, none of these varieties make it easy bacteria or molds. The secret to their long shelf life, keeping them dry. Now, beyond sweetening your morning coffee or turning your baked goods into irresistible treats, sugar plays an important part in food preservation. Think about jams, jellies, and preserved fruits. Sugar helps keep these delights safe and scrumptious over time. So, whether you're a baking enthusiast looking to whip up some heavenly confections or a savvy prepper aiming to secure your food supply, sugar is your go-to ally. Next item on the list, white rice. You see, while brown rice gets all the health hype, it's got this little issue with oils that make it go bad faster. But white rice, that's where it's at for long-term storage. We're talking decades, as long as you keep it in a cool, dry spot. Think about it, decades of having a reliable source of energy and carbs just sitting there, ready whenever you need it. In a scenario where you can't just pop to the store, or when the world decides to throw a curveball, having a stockpile of white rice could literally be a lifesaver. It's the kind of food that doesn't ask for much, just a proper storage spot, but gives back a whole lot, especially in times of need. Stocking up on white rice is one of those no-brainer moves for anyone thinking about long-term food security. Next up on the list, dried beans. You might not think much about them on your average grocery run, but these little guys are practically superfoods, packed with protein capable of hanging around for up to a whopping 30 years if you keep them in a cool, dry spot. The beans you buy today could still be good when the next generation is running things. And we're not just talking about a one-trick pony here. Beans are insanely versatile. You can throw them into soups, stews, salads, or even make them the star of the dish in a hearty chili. Nutrition-wise, they're a goldmine, offering not just protein but fiber, minerals, and vitamins that your body needs to stay in top form, especially in situations where you might not be getting all the nutrients you need. If your emergency food plan doesn't include a stash of dried beans, you're missing out on an essential resource that's not only nutritious but also easy to store and prepare. Next on the list, apple cider vinegar. This stuff is not just for sprucing up your salads or giving your marinades that extra zing. It's a powerhouse with benefits that go way beyond taste. We're talking a shelf life that's pretty much endless, which is a dream come true when you're thinking about long-term storage. But it doesn't stop at being a kitchen staple. Its health benefits are through the roof. From aiding digestion to potentially lowering blood sugar levels, it's like having a little bottle of wellness on your shelf. And if you're into the whole eco-friendly vibe, apple cider vinegar steps up as a natural cleaner too. Imagine ditching those harsh chemicals for something you can literally drizzle over your greens. It's this kind of flexibility that makes apple cider vinegar an absolute must-have in your stockpile. Whether you're whipping up a storm in the kitchen looking for natural remedies or going green with your cleaning, this is one ingredient that's got your back. The most unassuming items can be extremely valuable in both daily life and in times of need. Next, dried lentils. Much like their cousins, the dried beans, lentils pack a serious nutritional punch that can keep you going when the going gets tough. They're packed with proteins, fibers, and essential minerals without the need for refrigeration or special storage conditions, which is a big win. The beauty of lentils lies in their simplicity. You can toss them into a soup, whip up a hearty stew, or even make a cold salad if you're craving something refreshing. Their shelf life practically forever as long as they're kept in a cool, dry place. This makes them an absolute must-have in any emergency pantry. Lentils are low maintenance, high reward, and ready to step up to the plate when you need them the most. Don't overlook these tiny titans when planning your emergency food supply. They will come in handy. Next on the list is pure vanilla extract. Pure vanilla extract brings a depth of flavor to your dishes that its artificial counterpart can only dream of. And the kicker? It actually improves over time. Whether you're whipping up a dessert or a savory masterpiece, a dash of aged pure vanilla extract can elevate your dish to new heights. So yeah, if you haven't already, make room for pure vanilla extract on your shelves. In the prepping world where quality and longevity are king, this is one ingredient that proudly wears the crown, proving that in some cases, getting older is definitely a good thing. When scarcity and turmoil hits, this next item on the list is going to be worth so much more than gold, and that is hard liquors. These potent potables are virtually immortal on your shelf, never spoiling, never losing their kick, making them a goldmine in scenarios where the world's turned a bit sideways. But their value extends far beyond just an evening sipper. In a tough situation, high-proof alcohol can be a lifesaver, literally. It's an antiseptic for cleaning wounds, a sterilizer for medical tools, or even as a fire starter when you need warmth or to cook. And let's not overlook their worth as barter goods, because when conventional currency might lose its value, a bottle of good bourbon could get you the essentials you need or help forge beneficial alliances. So when you think about stockpiling for those just-in-case moments, remember that hard liquors aren't just for toasting the good times. They could very well be a versatile and invaluable resource in the face of uncertainty. Next item on the list is honey. This is a food item you buy today, sitting on your shelf, ready to be enjoyed or come to your aid decades down the line. It's not just about drizzling it over your pancakes or sweetening your tea. Honey plays an important role in natural medicine too. From soothing sore throats to healing wounds, its uses are as varied as they are valuable. And because it's so dense, bacteria can't make a home in it, ensuring that this sweet treasure remains as potent as the day you bought it. Honey is not merely a food item, it's a timeless resource for both nourishment and healing, making it an unparalleled addition to your survival stash or everyday pantry. Next item on this list is powdered milk. Powdered milk is like this incredible hack for ensuring you've got access to milk's nutritional benefits without worrying about a fridge or a cow in your backyard. But here's the kicker. You have to store it in an airtight container. Storing it in an airtight container keeps it in tip-top shape, ready to be transformed back into liquid gold whenever you need it. It's a powerhouse of calcium and vitamins, perfect for your morning cereal, baking needs, or just a comforting glass of milk. And it's a fantastic barter item. Keep it sealed, keep it dry, and you've got yourself a reliable source of milk anytime, anywhere. Next on this list is rolled oats. It's not just incredibly nutritious, but packed with fiber and essential minerals, and is super versatile. You can cook them up as a hearty porridge, sure, but they're also fantastic in homemade granola, as a binder in veggie burgers, or even ground into flour for baking. And the best part, their shelf life is nothing to scoff at. Keep them dry and cool, and they'll be your culinary companions for a long while. In times of uncertainty, having a bag of rolled oats on hand means you've got a base for countless meals. They're the ultimate food staple, providing energy and sustenance without needing anything fancy to make them shine. Next food item on this list is flour. Think about it, flour is the backbone of so many staples like bread, pasta, cakes, you name it. But here's the kicker. While it might not last forever like honey or salt with the right care, it can stick around for a good long while, especially if we're talking white flour, which outlasts its whole grain cousins due to less oil content. Being able to whip up some bread or a simple flatbread can make a big difference, not just for your physical well-being, but for your morale too. Imagine the comfort brought by the smell of fresh bread in times when comfort is in short supply. And let's not overlook its flexibility, from thickening soups and stews to making homemade Play-Doh for the kids. Flour has got you covered. So while it might not be the first thing that springs to mind when you think of long-term food storage, overlooking flour could be a big mistake. Keeping a good supply stored properly in a cool, dry place ensures you've got the basics to create a variety of foods that go beyond mere survival. Stocking up on these foods means you're not just preparing for the unknown. You're setting yourself up for long-term security in a world that's constantly changing. It's about being smart, being prepared, and taking control of your future.